everybody. I hope you're all doing really well, and I hope you've had some good reads. I'm going to do a wrap-up. It's going to be a little early, but with the holidays coming up and travel and work and all that, I wanted to go ahead and do my year-end wrap-up when I actually had time to get it uploaded this year. And I want to end the year on a good note, so I will also be doing my worst books of the year, which will be an easy video to do. And for my final of the year will be, my favorite books of the year, which that one's going to be harder. But so far, is that there's still a little bit of time left, and I'm actually currently reading this that I will be telling you about when I get finished, as well as another fantasy, like urban fantasy on my phone. But according to Goodreads, so far this year, I have read 116 books. That gave me a total of 37,417 pages. And I know that count is incorrect because some of the books, when I added them, they were Kindle books and just went, we only have one edition. It's Kindle. It has 0 pages. So how many I actually read, I have no idea. But the average page, as far as it can guess, is 333 pages per book, with my shortest being a recent book that I actually told y'all about for Christmas, is Have Yourself a Deadly Little Christmas, which is only 56 pages by Leslie Langtree. It's a little short novella as part of her Greatest Hits series, which, if y'all don't know about that one, I don't think I've managed to review any this year, because I read them a couple times throughout the years, but it's about a family of assassins that want to get out of the business and start their own non-lethal family. But they kind of got out of it, but this was like one of their last missions together that happened to be over Christmas. And it's just a short, fun, quirky, very Leslie Langtree story. And the longest book of the year was actually also a fairly recent read, was Kingdom of Bones by James Rollins, coming in at 591 pages, with the runner-up being 6 Sacred Stones. Then that was 570 pages, and it's part of the Jack West Jr. series by Matthew Riley. Had a little brain fart there for a moment. So that was kind of my general stats, with an average rating of 3.7 stars from me. And of course, I like to do my year end and see what other people have generally read that we have in common. Whereas the most read book that I also read this year was The Hobbit by, of course, the fantasy, king head honcho dude, J.R.R. Tolkien, with 4,949,799 other people also reading it this year, which, that's a lot of people reading the same book. I guess we got good taste. And the book that apparently y'all been sleeping on that was freaking amazing, my least read by others book, was Bad Beauty by Anita Vale. At only 254 of y'all know about this book. See, this is why I have to create this channel and tell y'all about all the books you don't know that you need to be reading, because they don't get enough attention. And that was an amazing, it's basically, if you like fairy tales and you're a big Disney fan like me, you need to read the Anita Vale series. It takes all the princesses you think you know all about and makes them freaking evil. And then, the very last book, which is Bad Beauty, kind of combines them all, and we do get a Disney-ish ending, but the way we get there is so much fun. They are backstabbing and evil and just, I will be princess and I will be all-powerful. No damsels in distress here. So I friggin' love that series. I hope this channel helps some more folks find it, because 254 is not enough people to know about how amazing that one is. And the highest rated book that I read this year, according to Goodreads anyway, not my personal favorite, though I did really love it, was Savior of the Pack, which is actually The End of a Trilogy by Heather G. Harris. And that one was rated 4.66 stars by the folks on Goodreads. I don't know how many other, it looked like there's a couple thousand, so still not nearly as enough for how amazing that book was. So again, definitely go check that one out if you like urban fantasies with the little romance. It takes place in London, and it's a spin-off series, and it was freaking awesome. Like, we start off with the Other Realm series with Jinx, and Lucy is her best friend who ends up a werewolf and ends up the alpha of a pack when she's like barely a couple weeks into her learning how to be a werewolf. And that's what this series is. And Savior of the Pack was, right now it's a trilogy. She did leave off going, hey, if y'all really love this, I'll write more. If not, might go on to a different series. So we'll see. But so that was basically my stats of the year so far. And like I said, right now I'm reading The Secret Crown by Chris Kuzneski. It's I think like 414-ish pages. Let's see, since I have it on me. Yep, 414 pages. I'm not sure which number of the series this is. It's the Jones and Payne series. It's kind of like a archaeological action-y thriller. It was one of those that I love James Rollins, but he usually only does a book a year, so I have to find some fillers. That's how I found a lot of the authors that I read this year. Andy McDermott, Matthew Riley, this guy, a couple of the others that I tried that didn't hit off as well for me, like Ernest Dempsey and Kevin Tomlinson, were all, hey, you like James Rollins, you looked him up. This is what other people read that also read him while you're waiting for another Sigma Force novel. So that was where I'm at right now. And I just started a new book, Fairy Blood, but I'm only about 20 odd pages into that one, so I can't really say anything other than, well, there's fairies, and now there's a missing kid that might be a changeling, and a chick that used to be human but was kidnapped by the fairies and came back a witch. And it's the very first book in the series, but we really don't get any background other than now and then she will drop a hint of, they don't really know my past and I'm keeping this secret, and I learned the hard way about stuff that she kind of works for some like freelance jerk running an agency at the edge of the supernatural town that popped up after fairies invaded the world 20 years ago, and then the high up ones left, and what's left is not magical enough to get back to where they're from. They invaded us and are paying the price by being stuck where they don't want to be, but not being powerful enough to really kick our butts. So they're in their own little slum magical town. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, with just a little bit left. And a widow Meg for a visitor, yes. Hello. And Franny's sleeping on the footstool right next to me, so you can't see big girl, but she's having a nice happy nap guarding me. And this one just finished guard duty. So most of the books I've read this year I have reviewed for y'all. There's a couple that, there's actually so far there's only been one that I DNF'd, and I will be telling y'all about that on my worst books of the year series. But it's been mostly a mixture of a lot of urban fantasy with a little high fantasy mixed in, a lot of young adult leaning towards a lot of fairy tale retelling that I've been reading this year. I've probably read like 5 different Beauty and the Beast ones. Though I haven't got nearly enough Little Mermaid for her being my favorite, and I'm still looking out for a Merida. So if anybody knows of a Merida retelling, drop me a line, let me know, and I will run out and find a copy of that book. But I've done a lot of action and thrillers, a couple murder mysteries, and only a handful of just make you laugh books. Weirdly enough, most of those were also murder mysteries. Like, the Mary Rath and some Christopher Moore, and just pretty much everything. I don't know why, but apparently murder is really funny sometimes. Or at least the people investigating it make it really funny. So that's kind of basically what I've read. It's just, if you like murder, you like the laugh, you like, fairy tales and action-packed thrillers, and a little bit of, some creature feature, urban fantasy, paranormal stuff that sometimes has a background romance, I've got you covered, because that is what I have devoured this year, though. Only a handful of straight-up murder mysteries. Though I have been told I need to try James Patterson, and I have one book by him on my bookshelves that's in the TBR pile, so I might get to that soon and add one more murder mystery. So I hopefully, give y'all something to think about. If any of those genres sound good to you, I have tried to categorize all my book reviews as this is mainly the topic. A lot of them do it might be young adult, it might also be fantasy, or a little blended, but I tried to do my book reviews as this is mainly what it is, so go to this playlist. If you don't know what you're in the mood for, they're in a general, Ginger Bibliophile book reviews. So I hope y'all can find some good reads, and I hope y'all have had an amazing reading year, and I will see you soon, and so will my little man. Mwah! Bye! Happy reading!